Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Skeleton Knight in Another World, episode 3. In the last episode, not much happened directly, so to speak. Ark went for a quest to help a little girl gather some herbs in the forest, and during the process, he had to kill a basilisk and some fanged boar or whatever it was. Uh, on the surface, the last episode was fairly inconsequential, but the fact that Ark did slay that basilisk, and as we were shown later, it's not a task that a single person can do. It's something that a whole troop of, regular military has trouble taking down. It establishes Ark as a very powerful entity, as if we didn't know that already, but it establishes him within the world as a powerful entity and an entity that the country he's in is now aware of because they've seen the corpse of the basilisk and someone slain it. Someone has slain it, someone slew it, or however you say it, but that's what happened, essentially. Um, what else? I should probably turn down the saturation. That's what else. There we go. Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. Additional saturation in daylight is makes the video look better, but now that I'm lighted with artificial light, additional saturation just looks bad. So I guess I'm gonna have to switch between the two. But you let me know, how do you prefer it? I don't know. But right, let's not talk about that. Let's go back to what happened. Ark wants a quiet life. He doesn't wanna stand out, but he already stands out with just his gear alone. And now that the knowledge about his existence, although nobody knows that it's precisely him, has spread, I'm assuming his days of a quiet life are well and over. I'm assuming the fact that he came to the village will be his downfall, quote unquote. The kingdom will start an investigation into who could have slain that basilisk, and they will finally, eventually, get to Ark. And he's gonna be bothered by it in one way or another. Besides that, not much really happened. It was just some nice moments between Ark and the little girl, and it was all just. It was just an episode that establishes what's gonna happen later. In this episode, in today's episode, I'm assuming he's gonna meet up with this elf girl in full because he already met her, but he was hiding, and now he will get involved with her. I think that would be the better way to put it. But to see whether or not it's gonna happen, we need to watch the episode. So I'm gonna give you guys subs myself sound, and I can already see this show contains scenes that some viewers might find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, I think this ship has sailed in episode 1, but who knows what they have in store. I can see it going particularly dark. I can see this series going into the footsteps of Goblin Slayer or Overlord, but I guess the viewer discretion is advised. They have to put it here or something. I don't know. What I do know is that episode 3 of Skeleton Knight in Another World version by Saps Please is gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. You seek strength, and you will meet Ark, and you will realize that you're nothing, and you will want to join Ark so that he lends you his power or trains you or something along those lines. That's my assumption. Okay, so an elven princess. You want to attack Ark for some reason? To prove just how powerful you are? Also, one thing that I learned and I find amazing is that the OP is sung by a YouTuber guy who's making covers of various anime songs. They essentially got a cover YouTuber to sing the OP, and that's just mind blowing. I'm gonna link the I'm gonna link the video where he talks about it to, I don't know, either in the description or in the pinned comment or something like that, because it's damn. I'm glad that anime industry is slowly but surely going that way, meaning they involve mm, their viewers, their fan base somewhat. Right? Studio Trigger has a Patreon. Now they decided to have a YouTuber sing their OP. More of that, please. Like, not to, whoever knows what degree. Don't hire anybody from Twitter, that's for sure. But things like that are always cool. I love his laugh. He is death. You're not incorrect. Two peas in a pod. Him and Ponta. Who's there? Kunoichi girl? No, just gold. Cages for monsters or cages for humans? This is the question. I'm assuming they're talking about the Elven Princess. Oh no, the princess that Ark saved in the first episode. Well, not a princess, but a noble lady. Also slain. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember any of that. All I need to know is that there's some political intrigue and they're using assassins and monsters to get their way. Because nothing ever is. I mean, that's just the truth of life. Yeah, not gonna be that easy. Bonk. Not a bonk. Okay. I thought he's gonna just smack her in the head with the flat side of his sword. He's neither. Ponta? Ponta saves the day. I'm assuming it's some magical creature that elves revere. Yeah. Okay, so it's a female. So there's a chance that she's gonna evolve into a loli. I'm sorry, but it's such a common trope that I can't help but think that Ponta is gonna evolve into a loli eventually. It always happens. The animal familiar never stays an animal for long. That's what the cages were for? That's what the cages were for. Yep. Were they sold? They were sold, of course. uh, Straight into the point. And I have a massive fetish for elves. What if I told you I'm not a human, actually? Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Ark is my spirit animal, I swear. Oh, you're gonna find her, no worries. You're going to look for the elf. You fucking stalker. That's puerty, by the by. Okay, not gonna wait for her or try to meet her, just going straight into the elven forest. Monsters or elves? Bandits and elves. Uh, you have the hairstyle of someone who's gonna be dead very soon. Arc is gonna be fashionably late, as always. Yeah, you can't sell damaged goods, but I don't think Udolan cares about it. Of course. Of course, he has a rich and powerful papa. They always do. But you can't. Yep. Let's roll. Oh, the elf girl. Ark is gonna save her somehow. She's not very dark for a dark elf. Is she even tan? Let me take a. No, She's the whitest elf I've ever seen. I guess not every dark elf has to literally have dark skin, but kinda disappointing. Taking hostages? Leave me alone or I'm gonna hurt the children. Q arc uh, saving the children. Ark, your time to shine. You probably don't want to antagonize her, though. And Ark is just doing nothing. Or maybe not. Okay. Teleports behind you, nothing personal. I don't think that's what a lariat is. He took his sweet time, but I guess he helped her in the end. You don't need a key, just break it open. You did, though. Yeah, you can't say that while looking this imposing. What are you gonna do with the Odolan dude, or whatever his name is? Why? Can't you just break them? Greater break item! Ark is as versatile as people can go. Curse Dispel, healing. Yep, he's a skeletal paladin. And he has a fan club now. Ark is having the life of his time, and so are the children. A spirit parrot. Whispering Fowl, sure. Yeah. Right, because they won't get close to anybody but other elves. Makes sense. A hero of justice. Mr. Armor. I guess it's not a bad name. Racist much? He's a skeleton knight in another world. Arian Glennis Maple, sure. I'm guessing Ark is gonna invite himself along. Let me hire you. Yep. Predictable but not unwelcome. And we're back to the ED. White Fox, Studio CL. Before in the credits, I've seen a mention of Nut. I don't know if Studio Nut is somehow involved or is it something else. The ED is really. I think I said it like multiple times already, but the ED is really giving me vibes of like 3D Arknights trailers and teasers, like the Soulless Holiday trailer and the two trailers with were they trailers or were they, I don't know, infiltrating the slave market in search of the world's evil. And Ponta is calling people garbage. Okay, sure. Let's go through it again, shall we? Yeah, the pact is nothing but a farce. They expand into elven lands. There exists no one to offer us any salvation. Well, now you know that there exists Ark. And which is why I must be a warrior, a daughter of our leader. And for some reason, she believes that Ark is a brigand, is a bandit. Why? I don't know. He doesn't look like one, that's for sure. And they will become traveling companions, and eventually the Kunoichi girl will also join them. Studio Kai. Mm. Gold. People cages, or elven cages rather. And of course, someone is behind all of it. Yeah, assassination of someone. People from Diento. Right, and the bandits, the slave traders, also have their headquarters in Diento. I'm assuming Diento is just a place of local scammery and villainy. It would seem so. The Lord of the Ento planned an assassination, released basilisks in some forest. There's a slave market in the Ento, apparently. I'm assuming the next bit of the story is gonna be Ark and Ariane, whatever her name was, Maple. Her last name is Maple, so I'm just gonna call her Maple. Ark and Maple are probably gonna be having some adventures and shenanigans in the Ento. That's what it feels like. Mm. The basilisks were apparently an experiment. The shackles, well, not shackles, the bracelet things on the basilisk legs were, I'm assuming, something that would have allowed them to control them, but they had enough self-control and enough, not self-control, they have enough like self-will to decide to not work together, those two basilisks. I'm not entirely sure. Why is Prince Dakares targeting the Louvière? Mhm. Of course, it's some land dispute or whatever. See about securing our product. They need to be ready to be sent for to market soon. And now, in retrospect, we know that he's talking about slaves. So it's not just slavery; it's state-sanctioned slavery. The ruler of Duvier knows about slaves and encourages them, and probably handles a lot of the business himself. I'm assuming Duvier is soon gonna be without a ruler. Uh, or at least I hope so. If you're looking for oh, Udolan, that's the dude who was securing the merchandise, quote unquote. Okay, now everything is falling into place. It's literally the son of the ruler of the city. And she's just attacking Ark for no reason. Well, apparently not for no reason. She thinks he's one of the slave traders. But of course, she sees Ponta, and for a moment I was afraid that it's gonna be one of the tropes where the elven girl sees a cute creature and the sheer cuteness just disarms her, or she's suddenly all over Ponta, rubbing her cheek into him and her, and completely forgetting about Ark's existence. This trope is very very widespread, but no, it has some actual like in-world explanation, right? Ponta is a spirit creature. Spirit creatures aren't very trusting. They barely trust elves, and for one to trust a human is extraordinary, and that's why she knows that Ark is not just anybody, is not just a bandit, because a spirit creature trusts him. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, you're not the liar I took you for. Having a dinner, going to the elven forest, and of course, Udolan is as scammy as scam can get, essentially. A very. Not even mustache twirly villain. Mustache twirly villains are entertaining. Udolan is just. I just want him gone, honestly. And it was never shown what became of him. I hope he shared the fate of his fellow bandits, but you can't be sure. I like that the carriage is realistic. It has the amortization. Usually, when you have carriages and carts and whatnot shown in anime, it's just a box with wheels. This someone put a lot of thought into, added the amortization and all the mechanism that accompanies it. Really like it. I really do. Armor Lariat. I don't think that's what Lariat is, but I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna quickly Google what a Lariat is, but I don't think it's Lariat. Okay, Lariat is another name for a lasso. And there's a forward Lariat. And Lariat necklaces. Okay, one photo of Lariat Pro Wrestling. Okay, so it is Lariat. It is Lariat, but usually when Lariat is used, the person Lariat has been used on just falls over, and in this case, he just flew. Gotcha. You have my aid, Elf Warrior. One and done, and he just rips the. Okay, yeah. He just rips the padlock from the chain like it's nothing, and it is nothing for him. He has like 15 classes or however many under his belt. He's a warrior, he's a mage, he's a paladin, he's a cleric, he's everything. Yeah, dispel, heal, and pat. 3 pieces of the most powerful magic. And now he has a devoted fan club of elven children. If you run into more villains, I will come running to your aid. Would be cool, a little bit tropey, not gonna lie, but would be cool if he gave them an actual means of summoning him, like a whistle or something, but it was said that he came into this world without anything, just his armor, sword, and shield. So giving them magic whistles would be completely out of nowhere. It's something that Ainz would have done, but not something that Ark can do. Uh, that's one thing I have to mention. I like that he came into the world without any game mechanics. Uh, I really don't like it when mm, when an isekai has game mechanics for no reason. When it's an isekai based on a game, right? Stuck in a video game, transported into a video game, something like that, then sure, in-game mechanics makes sense, like friend system or being able to display your stats or having an equipment system or something like that. But way too often, I see isekais where the main character is transported into just an isekai world, just a generic fantasy world by, uh, I don't know, being struck by a truck or by being sucked into a book or something like that, and suddenly there's an UI. I really don't like it. Here is the opposite. He got sucked into, quote unquote, sucked into the game. He got transported into another world as his in game character, and yet he doesn't have those in game systems. I really, really, really like that fact. And this thought appeared for the first time in this episode when he was looking at the gold. How he didn't start shoveling the gold into his infinite inventory. He actually had to carry bags with gold with him. Really like it. I really do. Legendary teleportation magic. And of course, I'm no one of importance. Well, you look awfully important for someone of no importance. Gotta give you that. Village of Diento. Well, Diento looked like a city, not a village. If Diento is a village, what are your standards for a city? Holy shit. Would I be able to hire you right now? Well, depends how much you pay. Edie. And the next episode, we are infiltrating the slave market in search for the world's evil. Evil. Ha ha ha, the people are like garbage. Hashtag Tokyo sightseeing, hashtag hanging with Ponta. Sure. Sure. It's something I would have expected from Pop the Peak, not from Skeleton Knight, but sure. Sure. I don't mind it, honestly. Another good episode. Uh, the thing I particularly like about the episodes of Skeleton Knight so far is that none of them is overloaded. Right? There's usually like one or two things that happen per episode. And a couple of moments of downtime, like Ark sitting by the table and eating or stuff like that. But when it comes to things of importance, there is never more than one or two of them. And I think it's important to mention because the first episode of the second season of Shield Hero did the complete opposite. There was just so much shit crammed into that one episode. There was some politics, there were other heroes, there was a fight, there was Naofumi's village, there was Raid Shield, there was another fight, there was holy fucking shit. This anime so far is doing really well um, when it comes to the amount of importance per episode. It does make those episodes seem a little light on content. Yes, absolutely, but I'd rather have that than have like half an arc crammed into a single episode. Uh, yeah, the pacing so far really reminds me of the pacing of Saihate no Paladin. The pacing is really similar. Saihate no Paladin was doing the same thing, where there was just one or two things of importance per episode, not more. And that allowed those things of importance to have time to fully develop and to fully, you know, to fully establish themselves. You as a viewer had the time to truly experience those events, so to speak. Right? Often anime makes the mistake of, and it's not just anime; it's various pieces of media that make the mistake of being way too frantic. And sure, while you're sitting there and watching it's engaging because it's one thing after another, and you have to constantly keep focus on it. Sure, at the moment it's good, but after the episodes or the movie or whatever ends, you barely remember anything because everything happens so quickly. With pacing that's a little bit slower, everything has the time to sink in. And this is the case for Skeleton Knight so far. Everything has the time to sink in. And I like it. And I appreciate it. And there's many anime where I have trouble recalling what happened in the previous episode because oftentimes just so much happened. In case of Skeleton Knight, when I was recalling what happened in episode 2, all I needed to remember was Basilisk, and everything just immediately jumped to me. Exactly what happened, because everything was centered around Ark killing the Basilisk. Same here. If I remember Elven slaves, I instantly remember what happened in this episode. And I appreciate that. I really do. Makes it easier to place events on a timeline when you recall what happened. Makes it easier to discuss those things. Thumbs up. Really, really thumbs up for pacing. Is there anything else that needs mention? I'm not sure what happened to Udolan. It wasn't shown, so I don't know if you're familiar with the source material and it was shown in the source material. Do fill me in. Was Udolan killed? Was Udolan captured? Did Udolan just escape? I'm not sure. Nothing was shown here. Unless it's a spoiler, of course, then don't say anything. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. The only thing that's unclear so far is what exactly happened with Udolan. Because it's kind of weird that they didn't go back to it. There wasn't even a mention. Udolan was just knocked out, and that's it. He wasn't shown tied to a tree. He wasn't shown dead. He wasn't shown being taken to the royal guard. He wasn't shown at all whatsoever, which is kind of weird. And that makes me think, that makes me afraid that he might have run, which would be an undesirable outcome, so to speak. And one more thought I had is at the very beginning we had the mention of like viewer discretion is advised. But besides episode 1, there wasn't really much that would warrant this warning. Like a dude got his hand cut off in this episode, but nothing was like shown in gory details. A girl was stabbed in the thigh, but not much was shown about it. She got a cut on the cheek, but that's just it. So I'm not sure why the warning. I guess they're just legally obliged to include it or something. I really don't know. I really don't. And I think that's it. I think that's it from me. So now it's the time for you to tell me down in the comments what did you think of this episode? What did you think of my reaction, of my theories? Just if you think you might be spoiling something, that's something you want to say, you want to comment, might be skirting the territory of spoilers, don't. I'd rather you don't, right? I want to experience it myself. I want to experience it myself blindly. If you want to talk spoilers, you can join my Discord server. Link is right here. And there's a Skeleton Knight channel there, and you can use spoiler tags to talk about spoilers, or you can just not use spoiler tags and talk about the non-spoilery things. And I frequent my server very often, so if you want to talk to me directly about stuff like that, that's your best bet. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to be notified of future releases, not only Skeleton Knight in Another World, but also Shokei Shoujo no Virgin Road, Spy X Family, Symphogear G, Revue, Starlight, Shield Hero Season 2, and I think that's it. That's my entire lineup for this season. I don't think I missed anything, but in case I did, you can visit my channel directly and see what I'm reacting to right now. That's your best source of information, just visiting my channel. If you want to support me monetarily, you can do so by joining my Patreon, link in the description. For just $1 a month, you get a place in the credits, you get a role on my Discord server that gives you access to a special channel, and you get, I wanted to say all sorts of stuff, but that's essentially what you get. And for $10, you get early access to non-seasonal shows, which this time around is Revue, Starlight, and Symphogear G. If you want to watch the next episode of Revue Starlight, it's already up on Patreon. The same goes for Symphogear G. Share this video with other people who you believe would enjoy it, because the more you spread the word about my videos, the more YouTube itself recommends them, and it's always cool to see some organic traffic arrive to the channel. And I think that's it, right? Like, comment, subscribe, join my Discord, join my Patreon, share the video. That's all I had to shill. So that's gonna be it from me for today. And you guys, as always, do the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the credits that I mentioned. You can get here no matter the tier you subscribe to.